Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Kirby Triple Deluxe. Last time, we did Stage 7 EX here in Royal Road, which went on for quite a long time, actually. We're 42 levels into this mess. This is a pretty sizable adventure, and we still have one more to go. We're tackling the true final level of Story Mode. Stage 8 EX! It's the ultimate X because it goes at the end of all the other X's. Right away, we have the Return to Dreamland music once more. We're gonna hop on up. We got the combination of endless explosions with the Sectonian Palace. Some of you were telling me that there's not much evidence to support that those characters are called Sectonians, in fact, that they might be called Sectras based on internal file names. We don't really know. Thought I'd point that out because it is true. We don't really know for sure. And now it is time to inhale reality itself one last time, and we get to hear the song from Super Smash Brothers Melee! Okay, I've composed myself again. Why is this not a more common thing that they do? Using songs from Super Smash Brothers in a main series game when they just need more music. It's a lot better than having a really big, epic, special level that you're supposed to think really highly of and have it reuse the first level theme or something again because you've just heard it. What am I doing here? Okay, I need to be faster for this. Because it's in Super Smash Brothers and you might not have played that game in a long time, I think that it's a lot more of a welcome inclusion than reusing an earlier level theme, especially in games where they reuse a song that you've just heard. I could go for this. The gourmet race in Brawl in particular, I think would be super at home in a Kirby game, and I'd love to hear that again. It's such a rockin' tune. It gets a lot of attention as a really great song, though, but it deserves all the more because it can never have enough for how good it is. It's the best rendition of Gourmet Race by far. Including this one, as emotional as it might be. All right, so it is these guys' lot in life to never be acknowledged one time while I'm fighting them, so let's move on to something else. This isn't exactly the song from Super Smash Bros. Melee. It's a new version that was in Kirby Air Ride, and I believe that was Sakurai's last Kirby game that he directed. He was kind of sick of series serialization. The irony, given what his life turned into, but I really feel for the guy because he's super hardworking, and this was kind of his last send-off to the Kirby series, was making Kirby Air Ride, and I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion. I'm willing to bet that it is. I think Kirby Air Ride is a crap game. I really do. I, again, don't know if that's unpopular, but I want to get into why, and I've never had another opportunity to really talk about it much. Besides, we're just refighting bosses right now. And I think this is the perfect opportunity because we have a song from the game. So for one, a universal thing that I don't like about a lot of different games is you have a controller with 17 buttons on it, but no, we're just gonna make one button do everything. I don't like that in Super Mario 3D World. I don't like it in Kirby Air Ride. It's a thing that I get very annoyed at, where you have all of this real estate on the controller, and yet you only use one button for, well, I guess we just gotta make it really accessible to newcomers. When I don't agree with that mindset, because I guess maybe you're making it more accessible to newcomers, but I feel like you're giving the player less control, which is an accessibility problem all on its own. And then on top of that, when you have people that actually know how to play a racing game and are used to having the drift controls be different from the brake and, you know, having the acceleration be at the player's command and not an automatic process, I just think that you inhibit accessibility from the audience that would enjoy racing games. I'm not gonna play Kirby Air Ride over Mario Kart because I just can't get behind the controls. It's not that I think it's impossible to do anything or get good at, but I do think that I could have a much higher skill ceiling with the game and just be enjoying it a lot more and not have to get used to such a wacky control scheme if you just had multiple buttons that did different things. I don't like how my brake button is the same as using my copy ability, just depending on what context we're in. On top of that, whenever I mention Kirby Air Ride to anybody, you want to know what I hear? Oh man, I love Kirby Air Ride. City Trial, man, that's an amazing mode. I love that. I have never met one person who actually likes the racing game of Kirby Air Ride. In fact, when I bring up the racing game, you know, the other two main modes in the game, City Trial is just 1 out of 3, usually what I hear is, oh yeah, the racing game is awful. Like, the racing game is crap. I hear that so much, and yet I hear a blanket statement that Kirby Air Ride's an amazing game and that people really love it and, you know, think it's one of the best Kirby games. Furthermore, when it comes to City Trial, yes, City Trial is a good idea. Yes, it's very creative. For those that don't know, City Trial is a mode where you don't really know what you're competing for at first. You have a really big open area to race around in, and you're collecting power-ups and stats to use in a challenge that you might get a hint on what it is, you might not. You're just kind of collecting hints where it'll tell you, oh, top speed is good for what you're doing today. Or maybe don't focus on handling so much. It'll just pop up with notes occasionally. You have a time limit to collect power-ups for. I like that idea in theory, but you know, it's been done better in other games by this point, and if I'm going to try to enjoy that concept, I'm going to boot up Smash 3DS and play Smash Run in it. I think that for a fighting game with platforming elements and everything, that lends itself better to the concept than a racing game does. Part of the reason why I am so strongly opinionated about this. You remember how I said that for a long time I didn't like Kirby? Kirby Air Ride's the reason for that. Now I know what you're saying. I shouldn't let a spin-off game impact my opinion of the main series. And I agree with you. Now, when I first experienced Kirby Air Ride, I was, I think, 12 years old. I had never even heard of Kirby until Super Smash Bros. 64. Kirby Air Ride was the first new Kirby release that I was even aware of, and all of my friends were telling me that it was the best Kirby game and it was one of their favorite games ever. When your friends are all telling you this is the best one, and, you know, I was younger and information wasn't as readily available, so I didn't really have much way of knowing that this wasn't how Kirby generally was, you can kind of see how that would color my opinion of things. The second game that I played a couple of years later was Kirby Superstar, and I did like that, but I always heard Kirby Air Ride was the best game in the series. My dislike for it has gotten stronger with time because I think that that game was bad enough that it kept me away from games that I would have been loving for at least a decade before I really came around on them and tried another one of them. I think after Superstar, I didn't try another Kirby title until Return to Dreamland came out. Anyway, yeah, I guess that about sums it up. We've been just doing a boss rush of all the different Hypernova bosses up to this point, and we've done another one. Good death animation. I laugh at your Japanese names. There's a keychain underneath this. Just want to be on the lookout for those. Nothing on the other side. What next? Doesn't look like anything in particular. Oh, we've come full circle all the way back to the beginning. This is the only new boss here. It's a redux of the Moley brothers that we fought all the way back in Fine Fields. He's kind of the toughest, most extreme version of them. He's kind of a step up from the last one that we fought. He has a signpost. Am I even going to be able to hit him from down here? Well, not like that. I'm not going to be able to. Come here. I like being up top because I feel like I can much more easily jump down. I know that it is just barely tall enough that you can still make it, though, but I tend to miss. There goes! For being the most extreme version of those bros, you sure went down in one hit, bud. Anyway, music is great. I don't mean to like rain on the parade too much. I still do at least really like the music. I just really wanted to vent that because I really wish I could have been enjoying Kirby a lot more years than I was, and I kind of blame that for it. We're gonna go in. And, oh, this place. This place. You ready for this? Oh my god! They skipped his GameCube model! What a fitting end to this! That's amazing! After what I was talking about! We have the lineage of Kirby here. Going up from the original to Adventure to Superstar, Dreamland 3, 64, Superstar, oh no, that's a Game Boy Advance. This is Superstar Ultra. Then Return to Dreamland, and then Triple Deluxe. They really did skip GameCube entirely. Well, crap. Yeah, I want to know what you think about Kirby Air Ride. Am I wrong in saying that it's not really that good of a game? Do you feel like there is more to it than just City Trial? And do you feel like City Trial is still the best? Because that's kind of what I've been struggling with for a long time with it. It's the thing that made me not want to get into Kirby because I just didn't like it. And before that, I think I've gotten more negative on it with time now that I really do enjoy Kirby games, and now that I think it's great. Now that I know it's a platformer that's heavily based on lore and subtle environmental storytelling, that there's all sorts of different ways that you can play it exactly as you want. It's amazing, and it kept me from enjoying that for so long. Perfecto! Ga, 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 ga. Bo, 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 bo. All the alliteration today. Leap, leap. Metalun, metalun. I assume that's what you eat for metal, Kirby. 4 keychains. There's 3 opportunities to get street passes, though, so 4 is the maximum that, did I get a rare keychain? Oh, there it is! Just for clearing it normally, for collecting all of the Sunstones, the Queen Sectonia keychain. This is why I recommended not playing the EX stages first and doing them in numerical order. Imagine the alternate universe where Kirby walked up to Queen Sectonia, she revealed herself, and Kirby's like, yeah, I know, I've been collecting merchandise of you already. On my first playthrough, I was doing the EX stages first, and I had this spoiled for me. Didn't want you to fall into the same trap that I did. Never mind, I decided to check it because I found that kind of suspect that the rare keychain wasn't in the stage itself, and I was correct. It is actually, I only just barely missed it. It's at the very end, so I'll see you back here in 15 minutes when I get all the way through it. I can guard fire and spikes! On the alternate route, Sectronians is what I'm referring to them as, so that I'm right no matter what the official name is. That's all there is on that other path in case you were curious. Death by getting hit on. I was so caught up in what a great mural that is and getting to see it again that it completely slipped my mind the thing that I was supposed to be doing. Remember that series staple of walking into the moon in the back and how it dates back really, really far? You use that knowledge to find a smorgasbord of food that I am not missing any of. So you know that you are the true Kirby. Get 3 up, a rare keychain, 2 normal keychains, 2 blue stars. This has more keychains than any other single stage at 7, including a street pass. I still don't recommend it above Wild World 1, because you can rush through that level and get all the keychains remarkably quick. But this is still a damn good place to do it. I think you could even get 8 if you have a bonus from getting the 1 cloud. And with that trick that I taught you for doing it every time, you can get it every time. Grizzo is a dupe. Fire Kirby. The copy abilities feel so much more special when they change Kirby's color or his form otherwise instead of just being a hat. I like that. The rare keychain is Taranza. A what-if scenario seeing Taranza in 16-bit form. Looks really creepy, actually. They designed Taranza to be not only androgynous, but also not clear if they would be friend or foe at first. Kind of going off of something else in the Kirby series. You know what I'm talking about, for those of you that have played them. Taranza looks really creepy here, though, in another visual style. He looks very villainous. Knuckle Joe! And another Sword Knight. Really does look like one of the purple reptiles from Chrono Trigger. Or just something else from the mind of Akira Toriyama. That is every Sunstone, and not quite every keychain. Before anything else, I've been informed by you that back in Stage 5, EX, we had one area that I never went down to, and I'd like to show that to you now. It was kind of well hidden. There's a tunnel in the lava right on the other side of this warp star that's not in the foreground. By going down, there's a keychain there. That is the only regular keychain spot that I never showed you. And it contained Kirby. How poetic. I also picked up another squishy. You can never have enough of those. Showing off our keychain collection. 180. There's 256. We're still that far away, even with having replayed so many areas to get one more collectible. It'll show how many of a keychain that you have. The cap on this is 10. If you truly want 100%, you cannot recollect rare keychains. And when I say truly, I mean for the insanity. The game does not track completion based on how many of a keychain you have, merely just if you have them at all. After doing all that, our completion has gone up to still the definition of a C-. But I do have a medal on story mode now, meaning that I've done everything that I can do there, with the exception of keychains, of course, as that's down here and is counted as separate. We have Dedede's Drum Dash done as well. So what are we moving on to next? If I'm being brutally honest, grinding for keychains for hours off screen because that's what it takes, and that's what the 100% speedrun entails because that's what completion percentage in-game is defined as. Beyond that, there's the theater. There's still some cutscenes that we don't have after the ending. I also wanted to point out that the final cutscene is called Flowered, going with the whole theming of the level names and all that. Classy. You probably recognize the whoa on the top screen there. You probably recognize on the title on this particular menu this song from the All-Star mode in Super Smash Bros. Melee. It's actually the rest theme from the Great Cave Offensive, which is also not from Smash Bros. I talk like you're so young though, but you probably know this stuff. I thought I would just point it out. As for the keychains up top, once 70 keychains are collected, it will pick a single Kirby game or single Kirby character and theme the keychains on top after them, randomizing it every time you see them. It's a nice way of giving the collection a bit more mileage and just furthering the celebration of Kirby that is these keychains. That's pretty much all of the little extras that we can see right now in addition to the true final level, so I think we're going to end things off there. Next time on Kirby Triple Deluxe, we go into the first of a few side modes. I can't believe the silhouette wasn't Mr. Game & Watch being playable. See you guys then.